Oh yeah, this was a good take too. What the are you doing? Is Miriam paying your debts? This is such a waste. There are like 500,000 fat guys in America who make videos about the mullahs hate our country and Israel for free. Why the do people watch you do it? You're based Fed-hating schizo, sir. Israel says they're 2 weeks away from having a bomb, but I'm lying. Alex Jones is a Fed. He is a federal agent, okay? All of the conspiratorial nut jobs who thought this dude was not a government asset are probably still churning the same foundation for defending democracy's talking points, as Adam Johnson correctly points out. When Alex Jones was in his truck reciting FDD points, talking points, FDD for the record is now your Fed posting. Alex Jones was in his truck reciting Foundation for Defense of Democracy's talking points. That's when I knew for certain the die was cast. That's Alex Jones is not a Fed. Why does he sound like one here? Let's hear.
I've had enough of the ignorance. How many times have I broken news before anybody else? How many times have I been right? I told you 15 years ago.
I love that he's also driving and holding his phone.
I learned directly from the people that saw the evidence.
He's literally holding his phone, using his other hand to speak. There's no hand on the wheel, and he's driving.
In CENTCOM, that they've got ground sensors, let's just leave it at that are in Iran, that can drive around and fly around and scoop up everything in the air and know what level of uranium enrichment and other...
He switched hands. He switched hands. He's like, yeah, let me put it on my good side. Let me put it on my good side. Hold on. No way, dude. Oh, Jesus.
Things are enriching other radioactive compounds, fissile material. And then I made calls and talked to people over the years, and they're like, yeah.
Oh, he's switching hands again. Dog, you're driving. What is going on? He just keeps no hands on the steering wheel at all. No hands. No hands on the steering wheel. My man's let Jesus hold the wheel, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, how do you know that? You're not supposed to know that.
No, see, he put his one hand on the wheel now. And no, it's not a self-driving car. He's on the highway. Every car is passing him by. He's on the highway doing like 25. Okay? Cars keep steadily passing him by. And he just keeps switching hands, dude. Not even looking at the road. Getting passed on both sides. He's not even on the last lane for 4 minutes. Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
So you got Netanyahu 25 years ago saying they're 2 weeks away. They weren't really 2 weeks away, but within 15 years ago, they got it. And now you see the CIA going, oh, Mr. President, if you go to full war with them, they'll go ahead and finish their bomb. Then Mossad said today they're 2 weeks again out. So the Iranians didn't go the route of North Korea bragging they got nukes.
Dude, I hate to defend him, but forward camera mirrors the image. Dog, why is his arm on the steering wheel then?
Showing it off. They've had them for a long time. And people go, well, wait, you're now saying Israel should strike them if they got a bomb. No, that's why they shouldn't. The same reason we don't attack North Korea. We can beat them in a nuclear war, but everybody...
Yeah, oh, I guess the mirrored camera also made the driver invisible, chatter. No, he's literally driving. He's driving on the highway. He's getting passed on both sides by cars because he's driving slow. And he's driving, not looking at the road, and he's using both of his hands to switch the camera angle, and he does not have his hands on the wheel at all. He's also possibly drunk.
He loses, and it creates a chain reaction. Tulsi's great. She's doing off the official assessment she's got. She's only been in there, like 80, 90 days or whatever. And she's going off official assessment she has, not off all the hidden intel. official assessments of the worst information there is. So when Trump says Tulsi's wrong, they're building a...
Every time he switches camera, every time he switches the camera from one hand to the other to put his hand up, to go, initial intelligence assessments, I lose it. This is incredible.
Bomb, and they're about to have it. No, they got it. And they demonstrated last year that they can hit Israel and get through their defenses with those ballistic missiles. It means they can hit them with a bomb. Israel's argument is take them out then. No, you don't do that, because if you put them against the wall, they'll launch their atomic weapons, and Israel will obliterate them with better, more high-tech systems they've had since the 60s, but it won't matter. It's like the War Games movie from the 80s, a strange game. Only way to win is not to play. Only way to win is not to play. So that's where we are. And again, this is out of control. I'm glad Trump put a 2-week moratorium on striking Iran. Iran's very belligerent because they can block the Strait of Hormuz and drive up oil prices massively and tank the world economy and kill Trump's recovery. So I don't know what we should specifically do, but everybody should take a deep breath here that's got war fever and just understand this is dangerous. Bannon literally doesn't brag about it, but it's admitted from sources that's what happened. He went in there and talked Trump down yesterday from striking him basically today. So we need more of what Bannon did and less of what Netanyahu's pushing. I don't want Israel to be blown off the map. I don't have some existential hatred of Israel. This is all interconnected. But I do not like the leadership of Israel, and Netanyahu is in political trouble and wants to continue to use crises to stay in power. Same thing with Zelensky and NATO and the EU is collapsing. So they want a war with Russia to prop themselves up. I don't hate the people of Europe, but I don't like their leadership. So I've been vindicated again. Hopefully we got a reprieve at least a week or so. But more aircraft carriers are showing up at Gerald.
It's crazy how people from the U.S. get mad at Iran for being able to sway world politics. Dude, this man should be worried about a different sway, okay? How his vehicle is swaying from lane to lane on the Texas interstate, okay? Cuomo's biggest donors are cheering Trump on. These are the MAGA warmongers who would have his ear in City Hall. When you use the wrong method but getting the right answer anyway. Anyway, notice something. I didn't even give a shit about his talking points because I've heard them a million times, because those talking points are exactly the same as every other Republican mouthpiece and every other Republican influencer. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce says America's the greatest country on earth next to Israel. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I love this type of shit, dude. Injected directly into my veins.
Being able to be here and do work that facilitates making things better for people, and in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel. It's an honor to be able to make a difference. And
this is the type of because like a lot of people who may have not gone to college, okay, or haven't had the Zionism beam directly mainlined, or are too young to know of a world where like only this kind of propaganda was allowed, hear people like this in positions of power say this and go, oh my God, this has to be like a pedophile blackmail ring or something. And it's just like, no, dude, this is what happens when you're over the age of 50, okay? Everyone over the age of 50 is like, Israel's the greatest country on the planet. I don't understand why these people are not letting them do a genocide. Like, what? What's happening? Some of my friends argued to me that this isn't creepy. I guess when you're used to creepy, nothing's creepy. Even some Israelis find the pandering to be creepy. They have told me this, but it's a boomer evangelical thing in most of the country. The Jewish right is tiny, so it will die out before long. Yes, 100%. Why do they love Israel so much? I genuinely don't understand. I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons. There's a ton of influence peddling that was so prominent in both liberal circles and progressive circles, and certainly in right-wing circles. But then there's also the evangelical angle. Evangelicals love Israel. They think Israel is supposed to be the nation state for the chosen sons and daughters of God, so that they can all go live there, send all the Jews to the desert, okay, implement the greater Israeli project, so that Jesus Christ can come back to earth and fight the devil's forces in Megiddo. Okay. They want the rapture to happen. That's it. That's why they'll be like, oh, the Holy Land. I love the Holy Land. I went there. And there is a ton of money coming from Christians United for Israel, okay, Kufi, and all this other that play a formative role. If you go to any of these evangelical mega churches in the South, they talk about Israel all the time. They talk about Israel all the time. And these are not even like pro-Jew by any means. They are literally anti-Semitic. They're just pro-Israel because Israel has to exist. Israel has to be the way that it is so that the end times can come. It sounds insane. I know it sounds insane. It sounds like an anime. You're like, how can these people believe this? Remember, these people also believe that abortion is murder, okay? They believe a lot of stupid shit.
And to be able to speak in this regard with an administration that I love so much and that I feel genuinely represented by, it's a real honor. The pride of being able to be here and do work that facilitates making things better for people, and in the greatest country on earth, next to Israel.
Christians want Jesus to come back and end them. By the way, that's the full prophecy. Yeah. Oh, the other side of Christian Zionism that's really funny is that, and it's literally the reason why it's an anti-Semitic theory to begin with, is that approximately like 100,000 Jews survive the rapture because they will convert to evangelical Christianity at that point. And the rest of the Jews still burn in eternal damnation in hellfire. So it's not like Jews get a good a good end of this bargain either. 144,000. Sorry, my bad. I got the number wrong. Yeah, all the Jews die. Just some become Christians, and that's the only reason why they're okay. Of course, a lot of Zionist Jews know this, but they don't give a. They don't give a. These people are anti-Semitic either. They don't care because they don't believe the rapture is going to happen. Understandably, I don't either. But that is the reason why Gilad Erdan, okay, the former UN ambassador to Israel, went to psychopathic, evangelical, rabid anti-Semitic pastor John Hagee's church and delivered a sermon immediately after October 7. Because Israel knows this is an incredibly important militant base of support in America. That's it. No, that's not the one that was complaining about children's drawings. That's Danny Danon. Seems weird to say, but it's also why, yeah. Seems like a good moment to say Christian Zionist orgs like this are a malignant force in U.S. politics that have been goading for all-out war since their inception. Yup. Kufi Action Fund. Thank you, real Donald Trump, for standing with... Find them? Oh. Thank you, real Donald Trump, for standing with Israel. When President Trump said Iran won't be allowed a nuclear weapon, he meant it.